How would the first round play out if the draft were held today?
The Browns are going to stay somewhat local here, as I'm going to give them wide receiver Carnell Tate from Ohio State.
Let's dive into an updated 2026 NFL first round mock draft. Tom Brady's squad, you're on the clock.
Number 1, Las Vegas Raiders, Fernando Mendoza. If you missed the first few minutes of the draft, fear not. The Raiders are taking Mendoza here without question. The signing of Kirk Cousins doesn't change anything. Mendoza is the future of the Raiders, even if Cousins opens 2026 as the starter. Number 2, New York Jets, Arvell Reese. It would be a surprise if the Jets didn't address the defense here. Ultimately, their best bet is to go with the do-it-all linebacker out of Ohio State. The Jets are rebuilding the defense with Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, and CJ Mosley long gone. And that new foundation begins with Reese, who should do wonders under Aaron Glenn's tutelage. Number 3, Arizona Cardinals, David Bailey. The Cardinals already have 2 big-time defensive linemen in Josh Sweat and 2025 first-round pick Walter Nolan. But you can never, ever have too many difference makers in your front 7. Arizona isn't close to contention, but adding the Texas Tech edge rusher would go a long way in closing the gap with their 3 NFC West foes. Number 4, Tennessee Titans, Sonny Styles. New Titans head coach Robert Saleh has worked with many great linebackers during his coaching career. He'd definitely love a player like Styles to anchor his defense. Number 5, New York Giants, Francis Mauigoa. The Giants already have one of the NFL's premier offensive tackles in Andrew Thomas. The rest of that O-line, however, that leaves a lot to be desired. Here the Giants complete the puzzle by pairing Thomas with the best offensive lineman in the 2026 class. Number 6, Cleveland Browns, Carnell Tate. It remains to be seen who will start behind center for the Browns next year. There's a nice nucleus here led by Harold Fannin Jr., Quinshon Judkins, and Jerry Jeudy. But another explosive pass catcher could really take this offense to another level. Number 7, Washington Commanders, Jeremiah Love. We know the Commanders have other needs, but how could they possibly pass on the golden opportunity to pair Love with Jaden Daniels? There would be no way of stopping this rushing game with Love and arguably the NFL's most explosive dual-threat quarterback. Number 8, New Orleans Saints, Caleb Downs. Safety isn't New Orleans' biggest issue by any means, but Downs is a unicorn who can single-handedly change the dynamic of a defense, as we've seen Kyle Hamilton do for the Baltimore Ravens. Number 9, Kansas City Chiefs, Reuben Payne Jr. The Chiefs' pass rushing depth was exposed during a miserable 2025 season. It certainly doesn't help that future Hall of Famer Chris Jones appears to be on the downslope of his career too. Kansas City can get started for life without Jones by taking Payton here. Number 10, Dallas Cowboys from Cincinnati Bengals, Mansour Delane. Projected trade alert! The Cowboys acquired the number 10 selection from Cincinnati in exchange for the number 12 and number 112 picks. With that selection, the Cowboys get their man in LSU cornerback Mansour Delane. Now, there's your new hopeful all-pro quarterback with Trayvon Diggs long gone. Number 11, Miami Dolphins, Jordan Tyson. The Dolphins have many issues to fill, but wide receiver tops the list. They traded Jalen Waddle to Denver and cut Tyreek Hill in a necessary cap-saving move. Tyson would be a great value pick here for the rebuilding Dolphins. Number 12, Cincinnati Bengals from Dallas Cowboys, Caleb Lomu. The Bengals have Orlando Brown Jr. and Amarius Mims at the OT spot, but Lomu saw some time at guard. He could always move to guard or replace Mims if the 2024 first-round pick fails to take that next step. Number 13, Los Angeles Rams from Atlanta Falcons, Mekhi Lemon. With Devontae Adams entering his contract year and age 34 season, the Rams should line up their long-term WR2 project behind Puka Nacua. Les Snead pulls off the ultimate value pick by adding another mega weapon to Sean McVay's offense. Number 14, Baltimore Ravens, Monroe Freeling. With Ronnie Stanley getting up there in age, this would be a good time for the Ravens to develop their next long-term solution at offensive tackle. Number 15, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Keldrick Falk. Yaya Diaby led the Buccaneers in sacks last season, and he only had 7. Certainly not the type of potent pass rushing unit that Todd Bowles was accustomed to coaching. Diaby and veteran defensive tackle Vita Vea cannot be the only ones consistently generating pressures on the QB. Falk is a plug-and-play guy who would help Tampa's pass rush regain that swagger that carried the D during the short and sweet Tom Brady era. Number 16, New York Jets from Indianapolis Colts, Jermad McCoy. The Jets obtained this pick from the Colts in the blockbuster Sauce Gardner trade. Fortunately, the board plays out in New York's favor to grab the second-best quarterback in this class. Number 17, Detroit Lions, Olai Vavea Ioane. The interior of the Lions O-line was exposed with Frank Ragnow's surprise retirement. Ioane is the best interior lineman in this draft by a country mile, so it would be a mega win for Detroit if he were available without GM Brad Holmes having to trade up. Number 18, Pittsburgh Steelers from Minnesota Vikings. Ty Simpson. Projected trade alert! The Steelers acquired the number 18 pick from Minnesota in exchange for picks number 21 and number 85. Yeah, that might seem a bit costly at first, but hey, remember, Pittsburgh owns 3 second-round picks this year. Plus, it's a price worth paying if they think Simpson is their long-term answer behind center. Number 19, Carolina Panthers. Spencer Fano. As Bryce Young's pass protection improves, so has his production. Who would have thought? The good news for Carolina is that they'll have plenty of elite prospects to choose from. In this exercise, they turned to Utah product and Big 12 Offensive Lineman of the Year award winner, Spencer Fano. Number 20, Dallas Cowboys from Green Bay Packers. Hakeem Messiador. Dallas's rebuilt front seven is currently led by Quinnen Williams and trade acquisition Rashawn Gary. Jerry Jones can put the finishing touch on by selecting the Miami product, a plug-and-play guy who could easily take over as the new face of their defense. Number 21, Minnesota Vikings from Pittsburgh Steelers. Avian Terrell. Quarterback certainly is not the biggest weakness for Minnesota, but if he's available by the time Minnesota selects, then there's no excuse to pass on Terrell. Number 22, Los Angeles Chargers. Casey Concepcion. Quentin Johnston and Ladd McConkey have both established good chemistry with Justin Herbert, but let's be real, both aren't what a Super Bowl contender's number one receiver should be. The Chargers need a burner and deep threat to open up a passing game that has become far too reliant on dink and dunk plays. Number 23, Philadelphia Eagles. Denzel Boston. As we've said before, we are operating on the assumption that the Eagles eventually trade A.J. Brown. If they're planning to move on, then it has to be receiver in this spot, right? There's still a deep pool of receiver prospects at this phase, but Philly should prioritize a big body and contested catch specialist like Boston. Number 24, Cleveland Browns from Jacksonville Jaguars. Caden Proctor. The Browns used their first day one pick to address the receiver position. Now they can turn the focus toward rebuilding an offensive line that said goodbye to veteran mainstays Wyatt Teller, Jack Conklin, and Joe Bitonio. Proctor might not be ready to start day one, but the long-term upside is certainly worth banking on. Number 25, Kansas City Chiefs from Chicago Bears. Omar Cooper Jr. Projected trade alert! The Chiefs get the number 25 pick from the Bears in exchange for picks number 29 and 74. With the pick, the Chiefs select Indiana wide receiver Omar Cooper Jr. since they really need help there, especially with Rashee Rice facing some disturbing off-the-field trouble. And, Xavier Worthy yet to really pan out, and Hollywood Brown leaving for Philly. Number 26, Buffalo Bills, Cassius Howell. Gregory Rousseau led the Bills with 7 sacks last year. That is just not going to cut it if the Bills are hoping to end years of postseason heartbreak in 2026. The hulking 248-pound edge rusher out of Texas A&M is a day one starter. Pairing him with free agent signing Bradley Chubb could help Buffalo's pass rushing unit finally re-emerge as a top-tier group again. Number 27, San Francisco 49ers, Dylan Thieneman. The 49ers defense didn't play up to its potential last year, largely because of injuries. They also sorely missed the presence of former All-Pro safety Talanoa Hufanga, who signed with the Denver Broncos in 2025 free agency. Thieneman probably deserves to go higher, but teams don't value safety as much as other positions in round one. He can immediately step in and become the new difference maker in the 49ers secondary. Number 28, Houston Texans, Zion Young. The Texans have arguably the best defense in football. Yes, but why not keep adding to it? Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter are perhaps the best pass rushing duo in the league, but the latter is also about to enter his age 32 season. The Texans may as well create a big three and add Young to an already dangerous group. Number 29, Chicago Bears from Kansas City Chiefs, Peter Woods. Bears fans needn't a reminder about how lousy their pass rush and run defense were last year. Fortunately, there's a highly touted prospect out of Clemson who can fix both of those issues. The 6'3", 315-pound Woods still has room for improvement in the run-stopping game, but his ability to generate pressure up the middle and clear lanes for the edge rushers would make him a special fit in Windy City. Number 30, Miami Dolphins from Denver Broncos, TJ Parker. It would be a surprise if the Dolphins didn't use one of their 2 first-round picks on a defensive player. The front seven doesn't have much to offer right now, so why not roll the dice on the other stud defensive lineman out of Clemson? Now you'd have Woods and 2024 first-rounder Chop Robinson to build your pass rush around. Number 31, New England Patriots, Kenyon Sadiq. The Patriots released top pass catcher Stephon Diggs and replaced him with Romeo Doubs in free free agency. Now if the reigning AFC champions could just add one more playmaker for Drake May, Sadiq and veteran Hunter Henry would form the league's best tight end duo by a country mile. Sadiq's playmaking abilities are one thing, but Josh McDaniels could scheme up a lot of crafty plays in the red zone with the Oregon tight end lining up with Henry. Number 32, Seattle Seahawks, Colton Hood. Having lost Reek Woolen and Kobe Bryant in free agency, the Seahawks could definitely use a fresh body to complement Nick Imanwari and Devin Witherspoon. The Tennessee product has the range and size to make a smooth transition to the pros on Seattle's star-studded defense. But hey, what changes would you make to our latest 2026 NFL first-round mock draft? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.